Right, that should be... I am an absolute fool. Oh yeah, thanks YouTube. Now live on your channel. Ah, 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 ah. Gordon Bennett, this has been an app. If this was a mishap stream, we'd instantly fail. Pete's Transport can see me. Good. Oh, this has not gone well. Jaden hopefully will be able to see me now as well. Oh, God. Right, so basically, on OBS, what happens is you have a button that says Start Streaming, which starts OBS sort of sending the data to YouTube. And then to the right of that is a button that says Go Live, that actually says to YouTube, right, yes, you've got the feed, start streaming. I'd press the Start Streaming button, but not press the Go Live button. So what actually happened there, while you were saying you couldn't see me, what actually happened was that I was giving the data to YouTube, but I hadn't actually pressed the button to tell YouTube, go, this is live now, show it on the notifications and stuff. So I've actually just been talking to myself for the last half an hour. But yeah, let me just check that this is working. Are you? Yes, we're live on YouTube side now. So yeah, so I'd sent the data to YouTube, but basically hadn't told YouTube to go live. So I've just been talking to myself for the last half an hour. And the reason, when Leighton Junction said hello, he couldn't actually hear me because we weren't live, so I've just been talking to myself for the last half an hour. Oh well, never mind. So basically, I'll start again. I'll start again from the beginning because, yes, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. I'll probably go live to about 9:30 now, something like that. So basically today, because nobody was here when I was talking to myself, so I didn't press go live, today we are indeed doing scenery. That's my phone binging again, and that's Jaden laughing at me in the Discord server. Very nice. So yeah, today we are doing scenery, as you can see by the title, the stuff on screen, and indeed the cameras. Today we are doing scenery. So basically what I've just done is, I have basically worked through the viability of trying to create a little hill, starting here and ending up here to cover this board. Because it'd be very difficult to put a wooden board, of an MDF board there, to then staple a backscene or glue a backscene across. So what I've actually just done is cut some little strips of foam here, and basically I've worked out that if I put foam under there and sort of, that's the wrong piece, if I put foam under there and then very carefully stack it up and glue it up here, then I will be able to create, once I do what's it called, plaster bandage, the plaster bandage on top of foam method. Once I put plaster bandage up here, I will actually be able to create a hill that doesn't look ridiculously steep. And that'll help to cover this board up and mean I don't have to put a back scene up here, because doing that and, you know, trying to sort all that out with this 45-degree board would be a pain. So that's all I've been doing recently. So you haven't missed much exciting, but basically all I've been doing is using some scrap foam, because this is the normal foam I've got from B&Q, which I'll show you in a second. Using this scrap foam, I've basically just worked out that yes, I can put a hill up there, and yes, it won't look completely stupid. For the people who weren't here at the start, which is nobody, because I forgot to press go live, this is the foam I'm using. So I've got 9mm extruded polystyrene insulation board from B&Q. It's made by Dial, D-I-A-L-L, which is like B&Q's own brand, and basically these two sort of came in a bit of a sandwich, so I've just slit down the middle, so we've got two separate sheets of 9mm board. Hot wire foam cutter, which is here, which is the tool I'm going to be using, and I've got some glue to glue it down if we get that far. And basically all I'm going to start doing now is I've measured 7/8 of an inch, which is what all these black marks are down here. I've measured 7/8 of an inch in, which is the distance from the back of the board to where I want the hill to stop there, and then I'll just cut thin strips and build it up across the length of the board. So that's all you've missed. I am Feeling a little bit idiotic now for forgetting to press go live. So now I will welcome people who are actually in the stream. So that was Pete's Transport and More. Thank you for joining Pete. Leighton Junction, who finds this very amusing. I'm pretending to. Yeah, I do find it quite funny actually. I'm not that mad. Lee from Onfield Road, thank you very much for joining. High Model Train Crew, good evening to you. Jaden is here. Did I forget to press go live? Yes, I did. Anyway, thank you all for putting up with my complete and utter incompetence. You know, I pretend to have all this fancy thing, and oh yes, I've got OBS, and oh yes, I can do this, and oh, and I get to have wireless microphones, but then none of that's at any use whatsoever if I just completely neglect the fact that I need to not only press start streaming, but press go live. Anyway, not to worry, we're live now. I did say at the start of the stream, and I am shouting a lot. Let me turn this monitor volume down. There we go. I did say at the start of the stream that we'd be going till about from 10 to 8, because I just finished tea, needed time to set up. I said we'd be finishing about 20 past 9, but depending on how many people are watching and how this all goes, I may just say sod that and I might go till somewhat to 10. It just depends whether I'm getting fed up how it's going, who people are watching. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. We might have a decent hour at it. Leighton Junction has said, do like the portable light. What is it and where did you get it? It's actually a webcam, so it's just a webcam, much like this one up here is, but it's just got sort of a light attached around it, really. Yeah, I don't think it's from TechNet, which I think is a sort of Amazon-y type brand. That's TECKNET. It's a TechNet webcam, but it's just got a light around it. They don't make that specific version anymore, but it is, you know, in this case, quite useful for lighting the back of the layout, but also so I can see what I'm doing. But yeah, it's a TechNet webcam with just a light built around it. OBS doesn't work if you don't turn it on, indeed. And Jaden's got to go to do something. Okay, that is fine. Right. Now that we're all here, I am going to cut this with the foam cutter. Or would actually... I haven't actually tried cutting this with a knife. How much of a pain would cutting it with a knife actually be? Let's swizz that round there. Left-hander time, by the way. I'm sure you're going to really all enjoy this. I presume cutting this with a knife is going to be very messy and not work very well, but we'll see. Ah, yeah, it's not polystyrene, is it? It's extruded board. That's actually worked a lot for here. When I'm having to curve the foam, then yes, it's going to be difficult to do that with a knife. But here, it does actually seem to be that I am going to actually be able to cut it with a knife quite well. So, I'm going to cut it with a knife, because it saves me going all wonky with the hot wire foam cutter, and I can use the ruler as a straight edge. Apologies for that horrific noise. So yeah, that's quite fortunate. I always forget which foam is horrible to cut with a knife and which makes a right mess. But it's mainly polystyrene, isn't it? So I'll mind the fingers. Are we still online here? Yes, we are. Online, not as in streaming, but rather on the line that I actually need to cut. Which I'm glad to say we are. I wasn't for a little bit up there, but it doesn't matter. Can you still see what I'm doing? Yes. Right, did we go all the way through in one go, or am I going to have to re-slit it in places? Oops, that broke off slightly. Now if I just run this underneath, it should get it off. Again, minding the fingers. And just go along the path I've already cut now, and it'll keep itself in line. Be careful with knives, people. Although, the problem with me is normally burning myself, not cutting myself, so... Oh, it has left a little bit of a gangly edge. Let me get the bin up here, which is literally just an Asda bag. McKing's back. Thank you very much for joining. Light Class 33s, they're alright. By Backman, well, yeah, from Backman they will be decent, to be honest. Yeah, it has left a bit of a ragged edge. Have I any... I don't know why I've thrown this sandpaper in here. That's perfectly serviceable. I can use it then. So I'm just going to... Yeah, working with the knife was alright, but it didn't leave the best edge. But, oh well. Yeah, that's the first strip cut. I'll probably try and do that with a foam cutter next time. There we go. Leighton, yeah, you thought, yeah, I can absolutely see why. Yeah, right. Does this fit? Or have I made a complete? That's the factory edge there. Does it fit? Does it fit? Yes. So we said to about there, did we or did we not? So if I pull that forward to about there, then that will look alright. Whether we'll actually get a chance to glue in this down today, probably not, but we'll see. So about that far from the track, I think it should be fine. Let's just change that band. That's not going to whack on the polystyrene, that's good. If you can see this, which you probably can, it's an earphone, so I can hear the music playing for the intro and stuff. And also listen to myself and just volume if necessary. But yeah, don't be worried about me having a thing in my ear. I'm not an MI7 agent. I'm too stupid to be an MI7 agent, obviously, because I can't remember to press go live on a YouTube stream on a channel that's 360 odd subscribers, never mind a government level security organisation. That would be absolutely useless. Anyway. Yes, that seems to be adequate. So we'll have a couple more of them cuts, I think. 7/8 of an inch it was. Yeah, that's a Virgin one. Would it have been Hornby Railways at that point? It's one with a ring field in anyway. It's pretty nice actually. Quite a nice machine. It's I don't know if they're rare, but they're certainly not as common. It's one of the 5-pole ring fields as well, which is yeah. I can't say I notice any particular difference in crawling ability, but it's quite a nice thing actually. Right, foam cutter. Is it switched on? Yes. So, can I cut this against here? Because it's not going to melt the ruler. I've done the same thing again. The end of the ruler isn't 0. There's like another 1/8 inch till end at ruler. That's a bit annoying anyway. Let's see if we can't... Am I better off with the other attachment for this? Or can I sort of force this through here? Ooh, that smells chemically. I'll tell you what, I'll just do it with a knife and then just deburr the edge if necessary. For now, I think until we start doing curves, it's probably best if we just cut it with a knife. Where is the knife? Typical case of not being able to find my own flipping tools. These measurements wrong. Oh no, it's just because that goes all haywire up there. Okay, fair enough. Never mind, that can go on the underside. Measure twice, cut once, or in my case, measure infinity times and cut half a time, because then you've messed it up and have to start again. Right, that looks about right about there. If I don't go all the way through in the first instance, that might stop it from flaring up on edges so much. If I just sort of etch the surface. I like this ruler. I originally bought it for college because plastic ones or foldable plastic ones just break, but it is actually quite useful for woodworking and indeed cutting foam. Where's the end of that? Is that it? Yes. Right, I'll go a bit deeper this time. If not all the way through. Probably don't need the ruler now, I've actually made a score mark, as long as I'm not too aggressive and don't sort of go off track. Again, I'm not too bothered about making scores in the baseboard, it's all going to be covered up anyway. Ooh, that's quite a satisfying snap. Yeah, there's strip number 2, and it actually is, for the most part, reasonably straight. So I reckon we're probably only going to need 3 of these across here. No, don't fall down the back of the baseboard. So if that goes to about there, you won't even be able to see the end of it there, because that's where the engine shed will be, which I'm planning on getting a Metcalf one, because that one I've got there is not great, and I'm actually planning to move the location of the engine shed anyway. I'm planning to move that into what is previously known as the shunter sidings. Which means I'm probably going to have to remake all the labels for the point motors again, but never mind. Right. That didn't look too bad. Right, we want 1 more of those strips, I think. The best thing about Hornby track is that it's tough. I've got Hornby track, but Pico points, and the story to that was, before I decided I wanted motorised points, I actually spent slightly more on getting Pico points because they were a lot more springy and a lot more satisfying to change by hand, and then after a while I decided that I actually wanted motorised points, so I could have gone with the slightly cheaper Hornby points, but by that point I'd already bought all the Pico points and done all the track lane and the ballasting, so yeah. That's how I ended up with Pico points, Hornby track, and then eventually point motors as well. That one there didn't actually do all that horrible furry stuff at the end. It didn't go all horrible and bitty, so maybe the sort of scoring cut and then a final deep cut will actually work quite well. If my fingers look close, then that's, well, they're sort of like there on the ruler, but I'm not gonna cut my finger off. Cameras make things look worse, and I am being careful where I put my fingers. So thank you for being concerned about me, but that is for me to be concerned about, so to speak. But yes, I am watching where I put my fingers. Especially because my granddad cut his thumb open with a Stanley knife once, bearing some wire. But yeah, right. Oh, that's pretty. 3 of these is a splinter there. 3 of these is literally the exact right length I need for under here. So right, we want 3 more of them, and that will probably just about bring that up to the right height. So we need 7/8 of an inch again. I could just measure, 3 lots of 7/8 of an inch, but then if I go slightly off track, then that means that the pieces next to it are going to be sort of wrong, aren't they? So I might as well just do one at a time, so to speak. And it doesn't actually take that long, does it? So shall I get... I tell you what, why don't we get the other camera, and we don't really need to look at the back at the moment. So if I do this, and then do... Apologies for the slightly shaky camera work. If I do this and then that, you can see exactly what I'm doing. That actually looks decent. And can you see it? Yeah, yeah, there. I'm figuring things out. Aside from remembering to press the go live button on the stream, but that's forgotten about now. It's not forgotten about. I'm going to be ridiculed about it for the rest of my YouTube career. Well, it's not a career, is it really? But you know what I mean. Just straight off there. I'm not even looking where I'm cutting. That's not a great start, is it? Align that up there. Right, and then I'll not try and scratch my track because that will actually make a difference. Oops. Come on, you silly thing. There we go. Make sure I don't go off track down here. Come on. There we go. I just broke through that bit. Let's try from this end. There. That's a bit of a mess. Right. It's not too bad. Do you like Hornby Class 66? Yes. Yeah, I don't own one, but I know what they're like. Jaden's got a couple and he likes them. I know what the mechanism's like. I know what the detail's like, and yeah, for the price, I think they're fine. Some people don't, some people do. But it's better than a Bachmann one, although, to be fair, Bachmann ones when they're on sale are okay, to be honest. But, yeah, for the price, I don't think they're too bad. Some of them do have dodgy liveries, like the Malcolm Rail one. That livery is just a wrap rather than an actual painted livery. So the ones like that, yeah, they're not great. But then when you can get them discounted at the retailers for something like 60 quid, it's really not too bad. So yeah, I would like a Bachmann 66. Definitely, just as much as I would like a Bachmann 37 or, well, I've got a Bachmann 08, so I know what the quality's like. But yeah, I don't mind them. Just that at the moment, I can't seem to get any in the liveries that are actually nice, sort of EWS, DBRF, Freightliner Green, Freightliner Green and Yellow. Hornby don't seem to have any other ones in the normal liveries. They're all the Climate Progressive Eco ones, which I guess are liveried like that for a reason, but I don't necessarily want to run stuff like that on my layout, to be honest. Right, this should be the second to last strip of that size that we need. I'm sure when Jaden comes back, my King Jaden will love to tell you all about his 66 collection. Ah, for God's sake. Stay on the line. There we go. It's not too bad either. Right, so if we can schwack that one in. Ooh. Let's not lean on the foam too much. Yeah, I may just cut some very small pieces for the ends just to finish it up. I might as actually well glue these bottom ones down, to be honest. And I'm not going to try and fit one in that tiny gap there. There's just no point because the other stuff's just going to cover it up anyway. Have you got DCC controls? No, I am analog only and will be. Because I don't fancy rewiring the layout again. And also I prefer analog anyway. Cheaper, and yeah, that's just what I went off with. So that's what I'm staying with. Yeah, I'd never switch to DCC. Maybe if I built like a really small shunting layout, you know, where it'd actually be useful to be able to have independent control over locos on the same track. But because I don't really do that on Highbrook End, there is not much point going DCC. Not when I've wired all the point motors and the signals and all that stuff. So yeah, I am not DCC and never will be, at least on this layout. Is this classed as ASMR? Is it satisfying enough to be classed as that, or is it literally just terrible rustling noises. I imagine it doesn't sound the greatest. Bachmann locos are better than Hornby? In some senses, yes. In some senses, absolutely not. Overall, probably at the moment they are better quality. Well, specifically the diesels. No, I'm not actually doing that much damage to my baseboards at all. That's good. Oh, bit of a problem here. Doesn't seem to have quite gone through in the middle. We have now. Let's get all that stuff off into the bag. Pizza's analogue. Yeah, quite a lot of people are, to be honest, and then quite a lot of people aren't. So what was the point of making that comment? The point of making that comment was that people choose what suits their budget, what suits their liking. Some people might not like DCC and all the problems with fitting decoders and finding the one that's the right current capacity and, you know, all that jazz. So yeah, there is reasons, operational, budget, friendly wise, and just in general opinion, why you may go for DCC over analog or analog over DCC. Analog over digital would actually be the correct, proper way to do it, wouldn't it? To say DCC analog, well, digital analog, DC and DCC. I don't mind analog controls, they make sense to me because, you know, I turn a knob up on that controller, I know exactly what it's doing. Whether it's increasing the voltage on the track, whether it's decreasing the resistance in the circuit, or whether it's changing the duty cycle of the PWM or the pulse width. I know exactly what it's doing, whereas with DCC I do find it a little bit more difficult to understand because, you know, it's a digital signal, it's a little bit more confusing, shall we say. Right, where are my test strips of hill making home? So, I'd say we want several of these cut in. It's a shame I don't have my digital calipers up here. I'd be able to measure exactly how thick that one and get it spot on. Yeah, and the plaster bandage should cover that quite nicely, shouldn't it? In fact, I think that was a slightly thinner piece. I think I want a slightly thicker one than that, which looks like that. Yeah, I am feeling I keep putting dents in this with my elbow. I should probably keep my arm flat, shouldn't I? Right, so, oh, I do have my digital, of course I have my digital calipers up here, that's what they're here for. To check the gauge of that loco. Right. Another tool, which is not strictly necessary, but I used it for a lawnmower project where I had to measure and try and source a pulley for the self-drive system on my Atco lawnmower, so I bought them for about £8. They really are good, to be honest. Yeah, £8. The carbon fibre at the end's not metal, and the, you know, they really are quite accurate. You know, it goes from 0 to 156.5, and to say how accurate these are within, well, it's plus minus, it says on the back, plus minus 0.1 millimeters or 0.01 inches. You know, really, for £8, these are a cracking buy. So I'm going to try not to crush the phone too much. That says 5.7 millimeters or 0.22 inches. Right, so let's say 1/4 of an inch, because I can always shove them back a little bit more. So, 1/4 of an inch, let's say. Well, what is this in? This is in 1/8 inch steps, isn't it? Oh no, yeah, of course it is. 1/4 of an inch is 2/8, isn't it? Yeah. Right, okay, that's good. Let's cut it off the correct side. Let's get it away. Where are my calipers? Where have I just put them? Over there. Right, so we want... Well, it looks like a trapezium from this camera angle. It's certainly not. Right, so we want 2/8 of an inch, also known as 1/4 intervals on here. So there. Oh God, this is going to be quite hard to balance the ruler on. There. And finally, we'll do one right at the end as well, why not? And finally, there. So, it may be better, actually, if I turn this way around, because I have to cut with the left hand. You can hopefully still get the gist of what I'm doing here. Line that up. And then I can, yeah, I'm not teetering the ruler over the edge. There we go. Line that one up. Lovely. I don't know whether a carpenter's pencil might be better for marking on foam, but it seems to be doing perfectly fine at the moment. I did have a carpenter's pencil up here, a sharp one as well, but I'm not exactly sure where that went. Hornby LMS Harry Potter is a nice loco. Yeah, the whole class. Hogwarts Castle, which is actually a whole class, isn't it? I think we had this discussion on stream not that long ago. Yeah, I think because they call it the whole that isn't a whole. I think. Because it's Alton Hall, but Hogwarts Castle, so people think, oh yes, it's a castle class, when actually it's Alton Hall, which is a whole class. I think that's how it goes. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Jaden, most likely. Right, let's get to the bin again. Because this has burred up now. Where's that sandpaper? There we go. Well, it's not burred up, it's just got all that nasty bits on it. I'm going to be careful not to snap this in half. There. That Asda bag could do with emptying, actually. Right, let me see if this will fit now. Yeah, look at that. That fits perfectly. And what I can actually do, because I've got two sections before it gets to there, I can actually have the bottom one stuck out slightly, then the next one stuck out, and then that one. Which should actually create quite a nice step effect. Let's try that now. If I pull this one out, and then stick that one there, then I can sort of create a stepped effect that the plaster bandage will... Oops! I really need to stop leaning on this. That'll create a nice effect with the plaster bandage when that goes on. So then I can put that on there, and then we have actually got sort of a... Put this on the floor while I'm faffing, so I'm just going to end up punching holes straight through it. I can actually create a pretty nice stepped effect with this foam for the bottom three layers. Because then I can step that up like that, and that should be pretty decent. Right, we want some more of them cut in. Best steam loco, Bachmann or Hornby? Well, I don't know, it depends which one you're buying, I suppose. I don't have any Bachmann steam locos. Have I ever had any Bachmann steam locos? No, I had a mainline J72, which I think Bachmann... Did Bachmann buy the mouldings for that? I can't remember which way around it was. Yeah, that's probably the closest to a Bachmann steam I've had as a mainline J72. Replica railways, I think, did they turn into? Or one of them absorbed into the other. Maybe I should just retitle today's stream Cutting Foam Endlessly, because that's probably what I'm going to be doing for a lot of making scenery. Right. What time are we on? 5 to 9? We're not doing... We're actually going to make some progress. Albeit not a right lot, but nevertheless one that is important that we get underway. Oh, excuse me. That's gone a bit wonky. No, that's better. Thankfully, this is now small enough so I can just spin it round like that. Do some weird left-hander crossing over stuff. Come on, there we go. I'll just dust this off up here, I'll just vacuum it shortly. Ah, never mind. I did say I'd need to be careful. Well, they're two are just going to butt up against each other anyway, so it's not really of any consequence. Right, let's stick that one up there. No doubt somebody who actually knows what they're doing will come after this stream and say, ah yes, well you could have done it like that, and they may well be right, but I think from what I've seen and researched, this will work just fine. A4 by Hornby. I do have. Where is the A4? Oh, it's over there. I'm not reaching over for that. Yeah, I've got a Hornby tender drive, a Golden Eagle, which, by my understanding, isn't the easiest thing to come across. Certainly on eBay, they seem to go for quite a lot of money. So, that was my first ever proper loco as well. I did have a mainline standard class 4, but that was broke, so I exchanged it for that one. In fact, I'm pretty certain a lot of people don't even know Hornby made a Golden Eagle. Certainly online, there isn't much documentation about the real thing from what I can find, never mind the model. I really should look up the darts scores, because the Players' Championships is on today, and tomorrow, finals tomorrow. And I was going to be watching it, but then I thought, well, no, I need to get cracked on with scenery. I didn't do a stream on Friday. I think I missed one last week, so, you know, I need to do a stream, and I've bought all this scenery stuff, and I was going to sit doing notes, so I thought, right, well, sod the darts, I'll catch up on that when I finish. Let's get some scenery done, because it's about 2 years... Well, I should have started about probably 2 years ago doing scenery now. This Ballaston track's been down for. But I am very excited to get going. How's that looking? Oh, I've just dislodged some of this. Do I start gluing the bottom down now? Because it's only PVA. I can take it off again if I need. Or is that just asking for trouble until I've cut all the pieces? Because then it'll be dry by tomorrow and then I can carry on. Oh yeah. That's not looking too bad. Oops. Phone stuck to me. Right. Oh, my back hurts. Well, it is going to do bending over. This is why I'm starting at the back, because I don't want to be leaning over to scenery up the back when I've got hills at the front. Do I glue the bottom sections down now, or do I do that later? You know what? I think I'm going to do it now. Why not? Let's try and maneuver this out of the way. This is quite tricky. Right, so let's get the glue and the container which I have obtained permission from my mum to fill with glue. Here is the glue. No nonsense PVA, which I think was 12, was it 12 or 14 pounds, 5 litres. So yeah, let's read the instructions. Surface preparation is dry, clear, free from just loose material. Apply with brush roller or spreader. Joints should be clamped together. Oh well, it'll be alright. Bonding, cement, no. Plaster filler. Cleaning instructions. Do I have to shake it up? Priming / sealing is dry after 1 hour. Bonding maximum strength is 24 to 48 hours. It doesn't say anything about shaking it up, but I'm going to give it a little bit of a shake anyway, just to, yeah, and I'll get a scrap pencil or something and shake it up in there. This is a Chinese takeaway container. Just give it a bit of a shake up, just to, yeah, that's quite heavy, that. Right, how do we open it? Number 1, push down. Number 2, twist. I've pushed and twisted, and it has... Yep, ooh. I'm just smelling it, because sometimes you can see if it's off. Expiry 7th of the 2024. It doesn't smell particularly great, but let's just... blob some in there. Where's the cloth? In here. Oh, that's the servicing sponge running across the layout. There we go. Right, so I'm not going to put loads in because I'll just waste it, and that is a sealable container, but yeah, I just don't want to waste it really. So let's oh right, so it actually locks itself back on, so you still have to push down. Okay. I'm glad I bought that, because that was £12 or £14, but for 1 litre of Everready. Is it Everready? Oh no, sorry. This Everbuild stuff, which I actually cut open to get the last dregs out of. I think it's £8 or £9 per litre. So that would be 40 quid for 5 litres. Minimum. So yeah, it is quite good that I was able to find that in B&Q. Whether I'll use it all, I don't know, but it's certainly better value, because I'll definitely need more than 1 litre. Right, so, if I think about what I'm doing before I commit to glue, new paintbrush by the way, let's see about getting these bottom 2 arranged. So that one wants to be that side facing out, so that's the neatest. That side's the neatest. Let's get, where's the chisels? Get rid of some of this loose ballast. No, that's not the toolbox. That is the toolbox. Oh, let's just take the drawer out. Let's find a chisel. Oh, I haven't got any. Oh, yeah, I have. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. Yeah, I've got a chisel. Chisel. Because it said beware of loose material, so just at the back where it is going to be. Just gonna do that and take some of the waste. Well, not waste, but ballast. Just get that last bit of ballast up. Lovely. Probably should have warned you about that, but I didn't. Right, so let's get this in here. Get it as close to the track without it looking stupid as possible. So I reckon about there. Then we've still got some wood to get a little bit of back detailing with. Just so it's not sort of hill and then ballast. New little nothing that's going to slide in there, innit? If I get that to about there, and then slide that one a bit further back, that's against the joists there. Check with the train. Yeah, no problem there. Flick. Feel. Sorry, I'm just going to have to look down the side for this one. Still can't see. Yeah, that doesn't hit, that's good. Right. Oh, that one wants to go over there, didn't I? That's followed it out. So let me just get the pen and just make a rough mark there as a boundary for that one. And there as a boundary for that one, and then I know it needs to be glued no further forward. And then 2 lines. Right, let's get some PVA. A little bit on the brush. And, right, we'll get whacking a little bit of glue down here. Oh great, there's still loose ballast. No, it hasn't actually clogged the end of my paintbrush up, which is quite good. A little bit in there, there we go. Right, we are actually gluing in the first stream. Not too shabby, is it? Right, I don't want to use too much, but similarly I want to make sure it sticks, so we'll put a smidge on here. Whether it might just seep straight into the board, but this is actually insulation board, so I presume it's got to be reasonably unpermeable to air, but then I don't know. Let's just get some on here. At least it'll help it to seal it from water getting in when we do. Yeah. Right, so let's look at these markers here. Get that one lined up, get that one lined up, and sort of just try and press it. Oh, that's slid. I really could do something to weigh that end down with. Oh no, it has. Oh yeah, that's quite good. It sort of forms a tiny little bit of a vacuum seal against the glue. Sort of helps like form a vacuum seal that sort of sticks itself down with. Right, let's get just a train in again. Whoops. Oops. Enough room here. Let's get a train in again. Stick my head around there. Yeah, that's not going to catch. And if it doesn't, just slice it away with a knife. You are a good person, thank you very much, and Pete agrees. Don't smell, it's bad to smell. Yeah, well, I didn't take a big snort of it, I was just seeing if it were off, because sometimes, well, that PVA glue which I've got in there lost its stickiness, so to speak, and it started smelling really foul, so before I actually started putting the glue down, I wanted to test that, you know, it sort of hadn't gone off and I wasn't going to start, you know, whether I needed to take it back. But thankfully it isn't, so... There, right, that's the first one down. Let's get the second one in. We'll use this side here. Right, that's that side glued, and then I'll be very, very careful. I don't dislodge this one. Oh, I really should have glued the top of it before I press it down, but it'll be alright. There we go. Let's just get some on top of here. And I've collected a bit of wood in my brush already. Great. Right. We said this side was a neat side. So in we go. And we'll get this lined up. I'm sure a lot of you building model railways won't have this problem of having massive blocks of wood at the back of your layout, but I do. Unfortunately, so it's something I've got to put up with, and something I have to work around. Right, there we go. Make sure that's roughly equal on there. Which it is. Nice! Right, next piece. Where is it? Good question. Actually, where is it? Where's it gone? Nah. Oh, it's on the floor down here. Oh, there they are. And on the floor. Of course, it's the other bit I ain't cut into yet. Right, let's try and stick this one down. So I need to work out whether it's better to go that way or whether it's better to stand it up on end like that. I'm inclined to say this way, because then it can tuck under there. Like that. Oh yeah, so if we do it like that, we can actually close that gap up. But then that means, yeah, then that means dislodging the one I've just glued in, which is going to be a problem all the way across the back of this board. So therefore, I don't think I'm going to do it like that. Just pull that forward and just slid it back. There we go. So I'm actually going to stand it up. I'm going to stand it up on end like that. And that creates that step effect again. Right, more glue. I'll leave it that way, then I know which way I'm going. Let's try not to dislodge this. We've run out. A bit more. A bit more, because I definitely didn't go enough on there. In fact, I'm just smearing it across the bottom of this really. I've even got the right camera on. Can you see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. Jaden's back! Jaden's back, and he says, I apologise for taking a considerable amount more than my horribly estimated 3-minute time span. No worries, Jaden. Thank you for coming back. McKing says, do you like Smokey Joe? Don't have one, but it seems reasonably nice. Specifically the slightly more detailed centenary one. I like that. 3 minutes to an hour. Yeah, that's definitely what... Yeah, Jaden says that's definitely what I meant. How have you been doing, mate? Not too bad, apart from I'm probably going to have... I don't know. I'm going to end up being an hunchback. I'm going to be walking around like this tomorrow, because leaning over these baseboards, there's really no option, to be honest, apart from to, well, lean over them. Which is a disadvantage of having a loft layout, but, you know, it'll be all worth it. And even if I do look like I'm 60 years older than I am, which is sort of the case mentally, but never mind. There we go. Glue all over my finger. How long have we been going live for? No, it didn't tell me on OBS because I started late. Anyway, well, started late by I mean I didn't press the start button, so the OBS counter starts from when you start streaming, not when you press go live. There we go. You need a Hornby class 30. Do Hornby do class 33s? They might have done a Ringfield one. Do they do anyone's craft? I know they do a Hornby 31. I have actually got one of them. One of the expensive Hornby things I do have, because I got it for free in Hornby's Advent Calendar competition, and then it didn't work for a while, and then it now does. Not very well though, so... Right, let's not push it all the way back. Let's just get it roughly aligned, and we can use the next piece to sort that out. So we have now got a sort of step there, which is looking good. Do I put the other... Let's put the other camera on so you can see what I'm doing. One moment, please. Apologies for the shaky camera. It's going to ensue. Is that roughly straight? Can't see my computer screen. Yes, you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Literally just gluing those back pieces in so I can start cutting. Well, I'm going to finish this one and then I'll move on to the other two, just so I can actually start stacking them up without them sliding all over the place and disassembling themselves. Because although the glue certainly won't have set, it will stick the pieces together and just stop them falling apart, if you know what I mean. It won't set, it'll just hold them together. And I need some more glue in the pot. One moment, please. Definitely underestimated how much I'd need. Open your damn thing. There we go. Right, more glue into Chinese takeaway box. Because it's sealable. And then that means I don't waste half of it when I inevitably pour too much in the next go and then come back tomorrow morning to find that it's just become the new bottom of the takeaway pot. How useful would having a split camera view be here? White. No, it wouldn't actually. Let's just leave it. Jaden says, what happened was I meant to only hoover my room, which should have taken 3 minutes, but I ended up getting distracted and hoovering 3/4 of my house. Jaden likes hoovering. By the sound of it. I don't mind it, to be honest. Right, I'm going to have to be careful not to glue up the webcam wire now, because it is sort of in the way. Including the banisters and every door frame and the silver thing they have on the floor too. Oh, you mean the threshold? Pete, you win the Commenter of the Day award. Honestly, have you thought about becoming a... Maybe you already are a comedian. Maybe this is your secret hobby. He's a sucker for hoovering. I'll get me coat. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm no doubt, Pete, that in this year's Christmas special, when we run the... I've no doubt, Pete, in this year's Christmas special, when we run the Christmas and train theme joke competition, I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever that you're going to absolutely blow everyone out of the park with that. Because you've been on point with jokes recently, and you are doing, as ever, fantastically. That was, yeah, that was a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete of Pete's Transport and More. I should probably give him a, I don't know, maybe I should give him a role in the Discord server as like official HEMR comedian or something, because honestly it's unbelievable. I didn't even think, the thing is, if you probably give me half an hour I probably wouldn't be able to make that relation. I am now missing the end piece that did go on there when I snapped it in half. Where is it? No, it's there, never mind. Jaden says, maybe I'm strange, but I like making the clean lines slash sections like the lines you see when farmers are cultivating them and then harvesting the fields. Okay. Pete definitely is the poster performance for a big Sunday night comedy club somewhere. Yes, probably. It wouldn't surprise me. Which way around have I stuck this one? It's basically the same, actually, but I think it's that way. Yeah, it is. Oh, I've managed to get more glue on my fingers than I have on the foam here. Deary me. Maybe I should have put this piece at the bottom. Oh well, never mind. The split piece. It's up here now. Stick. There we go. Right, so we want some really thin piece. That's not straight at the end. Square, rather. Right, so now we want some thin pieces. How are we doing? 9:20. Okay, I'll probably... There's no way I'm going to get a chance by the end of this stream to cut and glue all the way up to there. That's just not going to happen. Unless I happen to be Barry Allen. But, yeah, so I think I'll just possibly go till 9:30 and see how much I can get done. Let's just make sure I'm cutting strips off the right piece. I am. So we want, I reckon, thin, very thin pieces now. So I think, using my calibrated eye, that we need roughly, I can turn this foam cutter off, I'm not actually using it, am I? Although it is heating the loft up, it's quite cold up here. I'm going to go now for 1/8 inch strips. Nope, that's centimetres. Yeah, I'm going to go now for 8-inch small strips now, which are going to be quite finicky to get cut and glued up. But I don't think we need anything bigger than that now. We're properly on the slope there. God, I'm gagging for a drink. And I don't mean tea, I mean probably J2O, because that's all we've got left in at the moment. Right, let's get the correct camera. Beep. There we go. Lee from Anfield Road is back. Good stream, big thumbs up. Thank you very much, Lee. Nice for your support. Timber Valley is back from Wally and editing the video. Very nice. Hopefully you're doing well. Did you enjoy Wally? Thank you for joining. 8 inches in, always better than 7 though, mate. Oh, bloody hell. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not going any further than that. Thank you very much. But I shall leave. Actually, it was two. Well, actually, earlier I was doing 7/8, then I was doing 2/8, and now I'm doing 1/8. Very funny. And I thought I was the silly one. If this just completely fails to cut because it's so thin, then I may have to go slightly bigger, but who cares? It'll do. It is actually getting quite tight around this area now. I'm going to end up elbowing one of my signals and breaking it. Which is not going to be a lot of fun, because they took about 4 weeks to come from, I think, China. They can't have taken 4 weeks to come in this country, surely. Right, let's not take the fingers off, because I could do with them for, you know, playing the piano. I can't really play it with my feet. I'm not a magician. Although I have seen people play it with their feet. Have I? Or is that, or I've just seen a joke about penis spear? I don't know. Come on. Just broke the end off. Never mind. It's not that much of an issue, really. Rip. Did you see Sam's Trains and Richard from New Junction at Whalley? I know he did last. Was it Whalley where you saw them last year? I think it was. Right, this is 1/8 inch by 9mm now, so I do need to stick it the thin width up, so to speak. I'm not going to try and glue the top on there anymore, because I'll just end up dislodging it, so I'm just going to paint glue on this side, because if I try and glue up there, I'm just going to dislodge everything and create even more work for myself, so there's no point trying to glue the top of that. I'll just glue this, and try not to be too heavy-handed with the paintbrush and end up snapping the foam. As I say, plaster bandage, once this is all glued in, will get put over the top of this. And this is definitely the most painful bit to do. 100%, this is going to be the most painful, long drawn out thing to do, so, you know. There may be a couple of live streams of me doing this, there may not. I may just do a running stream tomorrow instead of doing this, because I'm sure building tiny little hills up here is not the greatest thing to watch, as much as I would like it to be, but I understand it's definitely not going to be overly fun to watch. But, you know, it needs to be done, and the only time I have today, really, unless I start going until, you know, 10, 11 o'clock, the only time I've got today to do is this, so I figure, well, I might as well do a stream of it, haven't I? Otherwise it's just going to never get finished. I think I might just be able to blob this little broken off piece on end, with any luck. Just get it covered in glue, and then I can hopefully just place this at the end. No, that's not going to work, that is it? No, it might actually. Nah, I'll just leave that and make it up with a full piece from the next section, and then I need to cut someone to go at the end. Let me catch up on some comments. Oh, I have really missed a lot of comments. Let's just quickly read through. Jaden was about to make a joke, but he's refraining. Pete wasn't, because it's family friendly. Fair point. Anfield Road has been, but he's editing videos, very nice. Wally was good, met with Sam Strange New Junction, very nice, and met Little Wicket, very nice. I'm trying really hard not to make a joke based off his comment. Lots and Wagons, Oxford and Dapple HIA, very nice. 3D printer, yeah, he said. Met Richard many times, Sam twice now, very nice. Jaden, you might be getting confused with Anfield Road layout in the loft called Lee. I think you got confused. No, he's never told anyone his name, fair enough. Timber Valley. And did you find the 50? Yeah, I found a couple, I just haven't really had a full chance to go through all of them. I haven't even cashed that £100 yet, which I need to do before I buy it. Obviously. Yeah, so I will get back to you on that 50. Sadly, the Lima 66 I wanted went as well. I think it got reduced by like 15% or something. Somebody else snaffled it up on eBay, so yeah. That's a shame, because that would have totaled pretty much exactly £100, which is how much I have from that little portion of dosh I came into the other day. But yeah. I have found a couple. I just need to, work out which ones are in best condition and stuff like that. So, what am I doing here? I meant to turn this the other way so I can cut it with my left hand. And then I just didn't. Well, nobody's told me I'm doing this completely all wrong yet. But then how many people have had to make a hill up the side of this bit of wood? Probably not many. In fact, I'm guessing closer to 0. So, yeah. We just put the baseboards right to the back, so I've got to comprehend that, and as I said, trying to make a back seam with it would be very difficult. Trying to get a thin piece of MDF propped and screwed in there, it'd be very difficult, so I'm just building a hill up there, to be honest, and if it doesn't look great, then I can always take it down and start again. But hopefully, it will look semi-decent. My knife has stopped knifing. Why? Spin it round. Also, I'm aware for the large majority of this stream you lot have just been staring at the top of my head, but oh well. Never mind. Come on, don't break the end off again. Yes, I didn't break the end off again. That's a bonus. Right, let's get this out of the way, because that is the last piece I'm cutting for this stream, so I'm going to glue that in and then I will wrap up. So, which is the nicest edge? Doesn't really matter, does it? I'll do it on this edge. Yes, I'm still in shot. Well, that's a miracle. As I say, this is completely the first time I'm doing anything like this, so, well, it's not completely gone. The only thing that's gone wrong is I forgot to press the go live button, which is nothing to do with scenery, and I accidentally snapped one of them little thin pieces, but other than that... Oh, excuse me, that's the steak and chips doing that. Other than that, it's not too badly. 8 inches is really the smallest I can go. I can't really go any smaller than that, otherwise there'll just be nothing to cut off really. I won't be able to cut off the sheet that well. And it'll be very difficult to glue them to each other. Right, I may just try and find something to prop on top of that as a weight. In fact, the ruler will probably do. Right, so if I put the camera on, that's what we've accomplished today. We've cut the other bits for the left and right, but I haven't glued them in place. I just wanted to get them glued in place so I can get one built up. and then move on to the other two without disturbing everything. So yeah, we've not done too bad today, apart from the stream being slightly... Well, it's been the exact same length for me, because I've just been talking to myself while I'm going to press go. But yeah, to say we've not had as long as I'd have hoped, due to my own error, we've not actually done too badly. I need to remember to take that out, otherwise that'll all be gummed up with paint with that paintbrush. So yeah. Let me just make sure there's nothing else that needs tidying up. No, the foam cutter's off. Yep. Oh, actually. Oh. I just found another strip of... Right, okay, never mind. Alright, we'll stick that last bit of foam in place then. Oh, that might be the wrong width now. Yeah, that's the wrong size. So that can go over there. So we can use that tomorrow. Remember to wash that paintbrush out when I've said goodbye. So yeah, that is the job we've done today. Oh yes, the ruler. I'm just going to weigh this down here because that's not really wanting to stick all that great, is it? Come on. Ah! Flipping Nora. Come on. Behave. That ruler's just going to slide. I need something to weigh it down with. What can I weigh it down with? Need something thin. What have I got? What have I got to weigh that down with? Screw? Will a screw weigh that down without falling down the back? Oh, that's actually just stuck together now. Okay, it doesn't need weighing down. That glue must have seeped in a little bit, and that does seem to be sticking down now. Oh, that's alright then. Make sure that's all touching. Yeah, right, so that is what we have done today. So, not too bad progress. Yeah, apart from the slight stream failure, we've really not done too bad. So, I'm just going to leave that to dry now, while tomorrow we'll get cracking on with the bits on the left and the right, as you can see up there. So that bit over there will get built up. Well, we'll finish building and gluing that up in tomorrow's Sunday night live stream. We'll start on that one. I'm hoping we get that one glued up as well. That one over there may not get done, so it does take quite a long time to cut one strip and then glue it. But to say we've not had that much of a chance going today, and this has been the very start, I'm pretty happy with the progress. This, as I said earlier, is definitely going to be the most painful part to do. And once we get past this, building a hill here should be fairly easy and plain sailing, and that one over there in the corner as well too. So yeah, thank you for watching the scenery, everyone. I'll just read the last couple of comments before I say goodbye. Timber Valley has got a lot of editing to do, it sounds like, and he says he's going to go. Thank you very much for joining, Timber Valley. Glad you enjoyed Wally. See you again another time. Pete's going. Thank you very much. Oh no, they think he was saying bye to Timber Valley actually. But we are going now anyway. So Lee from Anfield Road says good stream. See you on the next one night. All thank you very much. And yeah, as Jaden says, see you later, Timber Valley. And indeed, see you later, all of you, because I am now going to watch. I don't even know if the darts is still on at 25 to 10, but we'll soon find out. I'm going to have a drink because my throat could do with some neck oil. And I'll leave this glue to dry while tomorrow, and hopefully it all doesn't just somehow go up in flames when I'm up in the loft tomorrow. Pete says, don't forget the paintbrush. Thank you very much indeed. I just don't want to put it down by the loft entrance because everything will get covered in glue, but I shall indeed remember that. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Nice to see you all here tonight. Thank you for watching me do this scenery. It is a little bit of a painful process, but no more a pain for you to watch than it is for me to do, because trust me, my back is feeling it already. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll schedule the live stream for tomorrow, and I shall let you know when that is taking place. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. Do enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, everyone, and goodbye.